Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today I am showing off the Z-39. This is actually the only ship I was able to get out of the Christmas boxes, and I don't know, I'm very curious what you guys got from those Christmas boxes, because there was 1 in 56 chance that you would get a premium ship, and either I'm extremely unlucky, but I only managed to get the Z-39 after opening up, probably good 25 to 30 boxes. And yeah, just not particularly lucky. Now, I did get about 300 doubloons, which might have been the game recognizing that I already had a premium ship of that and just giving me the doubloons instead. So, yeah, finally going to actually talk about the Z-39. I've had it for a little while. I am joined with Imperial. We are playing on Haven, playing Domination, and there is in fact a CV and a whole bunch of destroyers. Now, the Z-39 is very similar to, I guess, the Gade in style of play. It has 150mm caliber guns, which is fairly dangerous against any broadside cruisers, because you can actually citadel with them. However, because it does run the 150s and they do hit hard, albeit it is German HE, which is not particularly amazing, they reload very slowly, and that is probably the one major thing you really do have to think about whenever dealing with other destroyers is, well, you're gonna struggle with the DPM. Alpha damage, decent, even with HE, 2515 right there. We are detected. Myoko does open up on us, and we go ahead and pop our smoke and at least try to disappear. Now, it does have the Hydra, which does make it beneficial, but it is only 5 kilometers, which is pretty decent actually, considering that the Z-52 has a 6 kilometer range Hydro. So overall, not too bad. And we do spot the Myokos, or better yet, probably the Shiratsuyu's torpedoes inbound, so Hydro is very beneficial. But once again, you're probably going to struggle just a little bit dealing with other destroyers. Good alpha damage all the same, but just low DPM overall. Do manage to easily avoid those torpedoes. Now, as far as the guns, I did mention they were 150mm. And at this moment, I'm actually currently running my Z-46 Captain, which is actually more focused on its torpedoes. And the torpedoes reload very quickly, which is a very German thing for the destroyers to do. And they, I mean, granted, they are extremely hard hitters. They have a max damage, I believe, of 12,000. No, probably, I believe about 14,000. I might be a little bit off on the numbers there. So, with my Z-46, I geared it more towards torpedoes, because with these fast reloading torpedoes, and they go a decent speed, so they can hit pretty regularly and reliably, which is why I focus more on torpedoes on my Z-46. Now, obviously, you can focus on the guns, and that's kind of a nice thing about the Z-39 is the fact that she can kind of fit this multi-purpose role that some German destroyers really can't fill. But once again, alpha damage really decent, even with the German HE for the destroyers. Do get a semi-decent hit on that frigate. Need to get rid of him. And I find it very odd that this frigate's not firing back. I wonder what he's probably doing. Is he possibly trying to destroy torpedoes? Or drop torpedoes? Probably. Fortunately, we don't get the kill, and probably gonna need to start pulling away. Now, one other thing about the Z-39 is the fact that her front turret is the normal setup with the 2 guns in each turret, or in a turret, while the back 2 rear turrets are only single. So you pretty much can, if needs be, only show your bow into targets, because that is 50% of your power right there, if needs be. You do have to show a lot of broadside just to get your back to rear turrets into play, and it can be quite damning whenever dealing with other destroyers, so you might stay more bow in and try not to take out as much damage as you can. And surprisingly, even with the AA on the Z-39 not being overly impressive, decent for destroyer standards, do manage to actually get a plane shot down, which was spotting us for a little bit. As far as speed, it's alright. 36 knots, I believe, once fully going. You do have the speed boost, which will get you up to around 39, 40 knots, which means that you can at least zip around a little bit more than some of the other destroyers. Do pop our smoke screen. Gonna try to help out with this Helena. Now, I will admit, do switch over to AP and hoping to get a little bit, well, a better angle, because this is German AP, and German AP doesn't have that very strong penetration value. Do get a hit, but didn't really do much as far as damage. As far as dispersion, overall not too bad. Got another hit there, not really doing too much against this Helena. Getting a few over penetrations, a few shatters, but this Helena is pretty much screwed. We're at least getting some defended base capture. I do switch over to HE, but unfortunately do not get the kill. The Independence actually burns down the Helena, and that's when we see a Nelson lumbering along the way. So let's give him a nasty little surprise with our torpedoes. And let's see if we can at least get some more damage than our measly 9,391. So overall, Z-39, I mean, it's not a bad ship. It can hit hard, has good AP, especially against cruisers. You can definitely citadel them because they are 150mm caliber guns. And it is German AP, so they hit pretty darn hard. Torpedoes reload pretty fast, even without any torpedo upgrades. And overall, damage-wise, speed-wise, not too bad. And it does look like we're actually going to get a good hit on this Nelson. Nelson took a big hit from a friendly, and there we go. Our actual first kill of the game. That's 32,000 points of damage, and as you can see, the enemy team's kind of falling through. Not much that they really can do right now. Do have to be careful of any planes. There is still obviously the CB around. What's a Mitsuki, which I don't think he's actually been spotted this entire game, and it was probably a good idea to actually go this way. Fortunately, that is Grass Bay, and well, it does struggle a little bit against destroyers just because of its dispersion and slower reload. It's definitely not a cruiser that is very well suited with dealing with enemy destroyers. So once again, kind of keeping that distance, and the detect on the Z-39 is once again not bad for its tier. 6.1 kilometers, not as good as say like the Jervis. Actually, I believe the Jervis is about the same. Future me will correct myself here in a moment. So as far as detect, not too bad. Granted, firing torpedoes against a Graf Spee is not likely to actually hit because it does have obviously a hydro, unless he decides to kind of turn into them. But hey, miracles do happen, and do get a hit and a flood. And now this is actually very odd. There is a torpedo plane right there, and keep in mind, my guns are firing, my AA's guns are firing, and I am not being detected. It must be hacks. I'm guessing, and I'm pretty certain that's probably the case, is the fact that the planes were above the smoke screen and not in a more clear line of sight, because technically the smoke screen goes up to a certain height, be similar to an island. That would be my assumption, but the enemy team is pretty much going to lose this. Not really much they can do. They're going to lose on points before they even lose all the ships. And the CV doesn't really seem that interested in trying to take us out. I'm trying to be careful, but it does look like he's actually currently dropping Imperial in the Nelson, so that's fine with me, but yeah. Anyways, this is going to be it for this video. Quick look at the Z-39. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Side Gen.